Hello and welcome back to Megajordinary. The birds are so loud. The second I go to film, the birds start acting up. Typical, but it's nature. Sorry I haven't gotten a video out to you guys in a while, nearly a month to be exact. I was away for a couple of weeks, just spending time with family. So now I'm back to the grind. I have lots of interesting topics and videos planned. I put out a TikTok and I asked my audience what they would like to see, and you guys gave me some really good suggestions. So I have lots of content coming. Yay! So before I begin, this is a really interesting case. It's an historical one. So all of the information that I'm talking about is readily available from various sources online. So without further delay, let's get into it. Today I'm going to be delving into the mysterious case of the Devil's Footprints. So this phenomenon took place in England in 1855, specifically the east and south of Devon. So during the night of February the 8th, 1855, heavy snowfall fell and it covered all of southern England. So when the residents of Devon awoke from their slumber on the morning of the 9th of February 1855, they were shocked to discover something really strange in the snow. There were hoof-like footprints in the snow, and these footprints were said to cover a distance of 40 to 100 miles. The hoofprints themselves were reported to measure 10 centimetres long, 7.6 centimetres wide, and about 41 centimetres apart in a single file. And it's believed that the footprints stretched to over 30 locations in Devon and even reached as far as Dorset, which is the neighbouring county to the east of Devon. The hoofprints appeared on haystacks, roofs of houses, courtyards, and apparently the hoofprints even travelled across rivers. So basically, at the start of the riverbed, there would be a hoofprint, they would disappear, and then they would pick up again over the other side of the river on the other riverbed. So whatever it was crossing rivers and everything. And eyewitnesses of the prints said that it seemed like they were heading towards Brownlow Cecil, the Fort Marquess of Exeter's country house. So naturally, these prints caused absolute uproar in the community. People were terrified and they believed that these were the marks of the devil himself. And some members of the church actually spoke out and said that this was a warning to the townsfolk to stop sinning. Now, there actually has been some similar cases like this one reported in various locations across the world. In 1840, 15 years earlier, in the Highlands of Scotland, prints appeared in the snow, very similar to those that were seen in Devon 15 years later. These prints were also said to have covered a sizable distance, single file tracks again, and of a similar shape and size. However, it's widely believed that the communities in the Scottish Highland believed that this was the work of an unknown animal that may have been residing in the Highlands. They didn't believe that it was the work or the footprints of the devil. And then in 1855, the exact same year as the Devon incident, similar footprints were found in Poland. This footprints in the snow was written to the editor of the Illustrated London News, and it says, "I beg the favour of you to insert in your newspaper the following fact. Upon the authority of a Polish doctor in medicine, living in the neighbourhood, on the Piaszewa Gora or Sandhill, a small hill on the borders of Galicia, but in Russian Poland, every year are to be seen in the snow the same footprints as those seen in Devonshire, in a single line round the hill, at a few inches and regular distance from each other. No mark of a beginning or end being distinguished. It is universally attributed by the inhabitants to supernatural influence. The same footprints are occasionally visible in the soft sand with which this bare hill is covered. Heidelberg, March 12th, 1855. And then on the 12th of March 2009, once again in Devon, in a back garden, footprints said to be similar to those recorded in 1855 in Devon were discovered, although it's now widely believed that it was a hoax. One thing I want to point out, seeing as in 1855 there is no photographic evidence of the footprints, the devil's footprints, we are only going off of witnesses' accounts, so witnesses drawing the pictures and what they saw in the snow. So who knows, but it wouldn't be an accurate comparison to make. But let me know in the comments, do you think this was a hoax, or do you think this could be the work of whatever entity was walking in the snow? All them all them years ago. And on that note, now it's time to get into some of the theories. And as you can imagine, there is a lot of speculation about this historical tale. And like I said before, because there was no photographic evidence of the marks from 1855, just witnesses' depictions of it by means of a drawing, or multiple drawings I should say, which all varied from person to person, it's hard to make comparisons. Some people believe that a balloon could have been to blame. There was a man named Geoffrey Household, a British author, and he suggested that maybe an experimental balloon that was set off from Devonport dockyard could have left the tracks by means of 2 shackles on the end of it. Apparently a man who lived in Devon told Geoffrey that his grandfather had worked at the dockyard and told him that this incident with the balloon happened, but they were told to keep a hush-hush because the balloon had damaged some local windows and other variants of properties whilst on its travels. I don't like this theory and I don't believe it for a second personally, because surely a balloon wouldn't leave perfect marks. Like, surely it would go in a zigzag shape and it wouldn't have lasted that long on the journey. And how would you explain it stopping at a riverbed, the marks stopping at a riverbed and then picking up exactly on the other side of the riverbed? A balloon wouldn't do that. And also it would have got caught in a chimney or another structure along the way. I don't like this theory and I just don't believe it, but if you believe it, let me know in the comments and let me know why you think it's plausible. There are also a lot of animal theories, as you would expect. So English paleontologist, biologist and comparative anatomist Richard Owen proposed a theory that the prints were from a badger. And he suggested this because he said that, and I quote, "The badger is the only plantigrade quadruped we have on this island." Now, just a bit of context, a plantigrade animal walks with its toes and the long bones in its foot flat on the ground. So other examples of plantigrade animals are bears, hedgehogs, rodents like rats, mice, raccoons, kangaroos, etc. So I'm going to add in the badger print now. I don't know, would the animal have steered on course the whole way over that length of time, length of ground to cover? Would it have steered in the exact same position? You know, don't know. Let me know on that one too. Do you think it was a badger? Now, this one is a little bit ridiculous, but at the time of the incident, there were reports of kangaroos having escaped a private menagerie in the surrounding area of Devon. Now, this information was obtained via a letter that was sent to the Illustrated London News by Reverend G.M. Musgrave in 1855. However, a couple of years later, he eventually admitted that this was just all fabricated by him in order to help calm people's nerves surrounding the whole devil footprints, thinking that it was a warning from the devil. And lastly, the last theory that we have to explain this crazy story is hopping mice. Supposedly the prints left behind after wood mice leap resemble a cloven animal hoof because of the motion of their limbs when it leaps up and down. Again, picture, let me know your thoughts. Still not quite sure. I don't know. That is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have your own little theories and what you're kind of swaying towards. Is it a supernatural phenomenon by a sinister entity, or is it literally just an animal, plain and simple? Maybe it's an animal that lives in the British forestry and mountain regions like Bigfoot. Could it be like another variant of that? Who knows? I'm just adding on to the conspiracy here, but you know, I want to know your thoughts, so please let me know in the comments. And I know I have a lot of videos lined up, but if you want me to cover a specific case, please do not hesitate to let me know in the comments below, or you can let me know on TikTok, either or. Social medias are in the description box. Don't forget to like this video, big thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Spread the word, share the video, and yeah, hit the notification bell so you're notified instantaneously when we upload a new one. And yeah, thank you. I'll see you soon for another video. Bye.